Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sip and Chat with Angeline. Thank you for joining us today here, 7 o'clock p.m. every Sunday evening. Thank you. Thank you. This is the Sip and Chat with Angeline, a platform where there's no judgment. We are in a no judgment zone. The things that we share are real life situation, they're real life circumstance, they're conversation, they're things that you deal with, things that I deal with, and we make them known. We bring them to the platform because if you're dealing with it, someone else is dealing with it. If I'm dealing with it, someone else is dealing with it. We may never get to know who it is, but what they hear that we say, what our victories, when they hear about our victories and we share these things, it gives them hope that they too will come out on top. And as we often say, if God bring us to it, he will take us through it. So we're here today and we want you to engage in conversation, make your comments, prepare yourself. We're going to put the 30-second ticker on, give you a few seconds to do some things you need to do. We have a guest with today that's going to continue from last week talking about cheese or no cheese. I love it. I love it. So we're going to put the ticker on, give you those 30 seconds you may need to do some things, but we will be back with Sip and Chat with Angeline.
You're on mute. You are on mute.
We have with us Vegan Val. We have with us Perry, of course. Hi, Perry. He's backstage. Val is backstage. She'll be out in just a moment. And but we're going to continue the conversation from last Sunday. There was some further discussions even after the broadcast, the show was over, talking about when some of you went to do the research and just try to find some alternatives to the cheeses. We found out that a lot of the plant-based cheese carry more fat content, carry more carbohydrates. Some of the things that your doctors kind of advise you against. And so when I reached out to Val, Val agreed to come back on because she wants to put the disclaimer out that she's not a medical doctor. She's not a licensed nutritionist, but she know from experience and she know some of the sabotages of our health and of our weight loss programs. And so she's back on to be with us on tonight to discuss some things and to share the possibly some of the problems that we run into are because of already underlying medical issues. And so she wants to share with us on this evening, and we're so glad to have her with us on this evening. I'm trying to pull up my comment board here. Here it comes. Yes, yes, yes. Diane. Hello, Diane. Hello, Rosine and Bernadette. Love you, ladies. Love you dearly. And so Val is on to talk about. And now, when I went to the store to kind of do my own personal research because I am a cheese lover, but as I went out and saw some things, Val and I talked, and I was like, when it comes to which are the lesser evils and this type thing, it just kind of leads you to think, you know what? Maybe I just need to do something different altogether. But before we go any deeper in this, we're going to bring back, hi, Polly, Polly Harrison, Virginia. Yes, so good to see you. Good evening. So we're going to bring Val on, and Val is going to take us into more in-depth discussion concerning these things. And it may, what she say, we might not Want to hear, especially if we love cheese. I'm just a lover, but I believe that if I really set my mind to it, I might could do something different. But anyway, let's bring Val to the platform. Come on, Val, and join us, lady.
Hello, hello, movers. How are you all doing today?
We're good. We're good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So happy to be with you all.
Great. It's so good to have you with us again. Yes. And but Val, before we get started, I want to say this. You have been for years. You have been on this journey of good health and one of the things that I do know about
Mhm,
you, and I thought about it later, how I remember when you came to visit me in California. And I remember when you had gone to the grocery store, you bought this stuff and it was healthy stuff. And I remember I was on a weight loss challenge on my job. And so I was in the lead. But when you would have bought all this stuff because it was stuff that was good for me, for somewhere in my mind, I thought it was okay for me to consume this stuff. And I ended up gaining like 5 pounds and then lost the competition. And so we went into the discussion was because you eat it because it's healthy didn't mean that I could consume it too. And all of that was because you are very active. You can take in carbohydrates and your body would never even register them because you're always moving. Your metabolism is always at a high, always on mark, get set, go, because this is the life you live. You're very active. And
mhm,
so from that, I remember when you're around or even eating things that's good for considered good for you possibly is not good for everybody because of the lifestyle. I learned that, but I want you to go into more in depth about how the cheeses, those things, the plant bases that's good for us may not work for us depending on where we are, possibly with underlying medical issues or whatever the case be. Talk to us, Val.
Okay, sure. Could you hold that up again? It was a little brief. That's bring it. Yes, that's Daya cheese. That is like one of my favorites. I use that cheese
It's
for
called Daya.
Daya. Yes.
Daya. I thought you said diet. I was going to say no, ma'am. Daya. Okay,
Well,
great.
I
Well, I have
basically
three of them. Look what I got. Y'all's hold on
okay.
just a minute. Excuse me. Let me show you. Let me see. Where am I at here? I got
Okay.
two, and then I got another one
Oh,
because I
that's
love
different
cheese like
flavors.
that.
Yes, that's
And, yeah,
different
and then I
flavors.
got the butter.
Whoa, whoa,
Uh
whoa.
huh. So okay,
What does
go
that
ahead,
say?
Val.
Wait, what does the butter say? Hold up.
The butter says
Bring it back up to the
country crock plant
okay.
butter.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Cool. Okay. So I'm glad you showed that because and let me just retract to when I came to California and I was eating all this food and I felt so bad for you, Angie, because she was like so excited and she was eating everything I ate and she
yeah.
was like, "I'm gonna eat every time you eat," and but the thing was that, like she said, I was very, very active. I mean,
Mhm.
before I eat, I was out running 5 miles and
Mhm.
come back, I'm starving, and I eat all the time. You gotta
Mhm.
understand, I eat all the time. I'm always grazing. Okay, so she tried to keep up with me, and I really felt bad. She said, "Girl, I'm eating everything you eat, and I gained weight, and I lost the
Yeah.
battle." And I felt so bad for her. And okay, so going right into the cheeses that she showed you and the butter. Now, I happen to like those cheeses, but guess what? Those cheeses don't like me.
Wow.
Now, and as I said last week, when it comes to okay, just bring one more package of those cheese. Just show it one more. Show it again.
Okay, I will.
Just one package. Okay, bring it up. Okay, turn it around. Turn it around. Let's look at the ingredients list. Just kind of, if you can show the ingredients list.
Let me see. I have to look this way. Okay,
Yeah.
it says you
No,
want me to
just
name it out?
no, just show the list so that we can all see how
Let me see.
long that list is. Can you no, bring
Right
it
there.
up. Over. There it is where your finger is. You guys see that ingredients list. Okay. All right. So anything with more than 4 to 5 ingredients in it, it's already
Ah,
a problem. It's already a problem.
oh
Somewhere there's
wow.
going to be some really, really horrible stuff in there. So what is plant-based? So what is plant-based? A
Wow.
lot of plant-based is a lot of fat sometimes. And I found that plant-based, like especially like sweets and desserts and a lot of the plant-based foods. Now, the first problem is it's packaged.
Mm,
Okay, anything packaged is processed. It's processed.
okay.
So that's one of the first things. So yeah, last week I said, alternatives, alternatives.
Right.
Well, let's think about alternatives as being the first line of defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first line, that being something that you do to kind of get away from the really bad stuff,
Mm-hmm.
to transition into better. For instance, I do natural hair.
Okay.
Transitioning into natural hair, some people don't go cold turkey. You
Okay.
have to trim some of that relaxer off, those chemicals off every 2 weeks. They don't want the big chop.
Okay.
So that is what basically the alternatives are for.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
And when you talk about eating and transitioning and eating to like for instance, Angie, you are a mover and you're moving more now.
Okay.
So some of the things, for instance, let's talk about carbohydrates.
Okay.
Carbohydrates. That
Okay.
is like everybody's enemy.
Okay.
Carbohydrates is not a bad. Now, let me go back to my disclaimer. Let me go back. Okay, I am not a medical doctor and I am not a licensed nutritionist, but I am a vegetarian of 33 years and a vegan of 17, 18.
Okay.
And I've had to research, I've had to read books, I've had to listen to podcasts from medical doctors that has decided that they wasn't working in the medical field any longer, but they would work with patients that has issues and they would work with them through their diet to help heal them.
Okay.
Okay, so there are medical doctors, licensed medical doctors that decided that they want to help people through a plant-based diet.
Okay.
Okay, so that brings this. I'm probably hopping all over the place. So Angie, bring me back if you have to. But that brings me to this: plant-based diet versus vegan.
Okay.
Not the same thing. Whole food plant-based diet versus vegan is not the same thing. Now, a vegan basically eat plant-based, but
Okay.
not whole foods. There are junk food vegans that eat everything out of the package,
Mm-hmm.
which I used to be. Everything comes from the package, going to the restaurant. I know every restaurant in town. I know every restaurant from here to Raleigh to Charlotte that I can go to, what I can eat. I know all the vegan restaurants. All of this is processed food. It's not whole food.
Okay.
I know all the quick, easy stuff I can buy out of the grocery store to snack on, to crunch on. That's sweet, not whole foods. Whole food, plant-based is healthy.
Okay.
That's where you're gonna get. That's where you're gonna get all of your great nutrition from.
Okay.
That's where your fuel is. I was telling Angie last week or sometime this past week. I
Mm-hmm.
said, when it comes to cheese, the best cheese in the world, the absolute best cheese,
Y'all hear this now.
the
Hear what she's going to
absolute,
say.
the
Okay.
absolute, hands down, best cheese you can get is the cheese you make from Whole Foods. One of them, for instance, is called cashew cheese. I've made it. I made some cheese fries, some chili cheese fries with cashew cheese. Google it, cashew cheese.
Uh-huh.
It is amazing. All those 3 cheeses that Angie held up is really good. But guess what? It is horrible for your system. It is
Wow.
horrible. If you have any underlying issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, you have problems with your cholesterol, if the doctor telling you you need to watch this, you need to watch that, leave that stuff alone.
Wow.
Go
Okay.
make you some cheese. There's also a product called nutritional yeast. Is a great cheese alternative. I always use it in my cheese grits. Nutritional yeast. All it is this these flakes, and it has a cheesy flavor,
Mm.
and it is delicious. So, ladies and gentlemen, movers, cheese, cheese or no cheese, plant-based cheese.
Okay.
Plant-based cheese or none at all. Plant-based cheese, nutritional yeast. You also can make cheese from tofu. Okay, tofu is another whole animal all by itself.
Wow. Okay.
Tofu is another whole animal. A lot of people, there's a lot of controversy about tofu. That's another whole show. But we're not, but that is a whole food plant-based cheese that you make yourself. If you have a blender, if you have a cake mixer, you can make your own cheese. That's the best. That's the best way to go.
Wow. Wow. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm hearing this now. I'm getting ready to ask you what I know. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There's no such
Oh,
thing as a
yeah.
crazy question. But I'm getting ready to ask you this question. When you refer to whole foods, what are you referring to?
Okay. Whole food. No, your food is broken down into about 5 different levels.
Okay.
And it starts from farm to table.
Okay.
Okay. So farm to table. So it starts with whatever it is you get from the fields, out of the gardens, and that is your whole food. When
So
you,
that's where you don't go through that processing
right,
packaging process. Gotcha. Okay.
right. So each level is a processing level. Okay.
Okay.
So once you pick it out of the garden, when you okay, everybody, to make it simple, your whole foods are in your produce department.
Okay.
There you go. That's
Okay.
where your whole foods are.
Okay. Got.
Now that's your first level. That is
Mhm.
your first level of food. That is where all your nutrition, that is where the most powerful being that you can be come from is right out of that produce, that the veggies and fruit department. Okay, and that's the area over there that most of us don't even know where it is. Okay, it's the first part of the store over in the corner. That's the smallest part. It's
Oh
the
wow.
smallest part. And people always ask me, well, what do you eat? What do you eat? You don't eat this, you don't eat that. What do you eat? I guarantee you I have way more options than what you eat.
Wow.
So I usually ask people, how many different meats do you eat in a week? Most
Mhm.
people can think of 3 different things. Most of the time, 2 different types of meat that they eat on a regular basis, maybe 3. I
Okay.
got I eat probably 15 different vegetables, 20 different vegetables and fruit in a week.
Okay.
Okay, so leave me alone. Stop asking me what do I eat. I eat everything. My choices are so wide. And the thing about my choices, I have so many colors. So basically, Whole Foods start in the produce department. Now,
Okay.
okay, so now if you boil some vegetables or steam your vegetables, that's the second level of your Whole Foods. So you have broken it down a level. Okay,
Okay.
so that's and freezing, also freezing. That's the second level. So these are the next best levels.
Okay.
Okay. And everything after that breaks it down more and more. And it breaks down your nutrition, the nutritional value of these foods each time you do something else to that food.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that's the difference in Whole Foods.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Diane asked a question.
Diane said, but Val, fruit are high in carbs.
Absolutely, yes. And
Yes.
that's the best carbohydrates you can get for your body, girl.
But
carbs are
now,
carbs are not bad.
says who?
Carbs are
Well,
not
you
bad.
know what? Okay, let's say that for
Okay.
you, because you
No,
are
no, no.
so
Okay, let me explain. Let me explain.
okay.
Carbohydrates are not bad.
Okay.
White flours, which is carbs,
Right.
white rice, which is carbs, white bread,
Uh-huh.
white sugar, all of the okay. And let me say this, the carbs that's in the bags are bad. The carbs that's in the bags
In the
are
bag.
bad. Now, rice isn't bad. Let me tell you, rice is not bad. But
Okay.
when you put rice with meat and butter and and gravy and all of this other stuff, that's what makes rice bad.
I see.
That's what Angie, that
Yeah.
butter you held up,
Yeah.
I started feeling like I was going into a some type of DTs just looking at it. That is nothing but fat, guys. That's fat. I don't care if it is whole, if it says plant-based. That's how much fat in that butter
11 grams
per serving,
per tablespoon.
per tablespoon. 11 grams of fat, guys. That is a lot of fat. So, oh, okay.
But it's 25% less saturated fat than dairy butter, so it is
Okay, so it
better.
is better. So
Yeah.
yes, that's what I mean by it is, but it is better.
Okay.
But fat by any other name is still fat. Sugar, sugar, vegan sugar by any other name is still sugar. So there you have it. Diane, again, carbohydrates, or what was it? Yeah, carbohydrates out of the garden
Uh-huh.
is great because we need carbohydrates for
Absolutely.
our brain to
Right.
fuel ourselves. We
Right.
got to have carbohydrates, but because of the other fat that we eat, the fat, the fat from the meat, the fat from all the processed food, carbohydrates become our enemy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when you okay, for instance, if you have a meal and you have no greens in that meal, no
Mhm.
nothing green. You got mac and cheese, you have meat, chicken, you have rice, you have all of your comfort foods, sweet potato, what do you call it? Yams,
Pie.
right?
Okay.
And then you want to have a piece of fruit with it. Yes, you got some extra sugar with all of that because carbohydrates, the way that type of carbohydrates is not turns into this into sugar. It
Okay.
turns into sugar.
Right. Right.
So when you add that to all the sugar you just had, the carbohydrates you just had, that has all of that fat in it, then yes. But
Wow.
out of the garden into your mouth, into your system is nothing but fuel. It's nothing but nutrition.
Okay. But Val, let me ask you this. Okay. So when you talk about the sugars in fruit, even though it's a natural fruit, once it enters the body can't tell if it's a good sugar or whatever. So it has the same effect,
Yes,
except
that's
it doesn't turn to fat.
I like that. I like that question. Very good question because
Okay.
if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do those sugars, do them during the day when you can work
Okay.
them off.
Okay.
Don't do that's a very good question. So the good thing about those sugars is they also have fiber with them.
Oh, yes, they do.
They
Hmm.
have fiber with them, and you're gonna it's gonna help your elimination process. So
Okay.
yes, it is sugar, and your body doesn't know that it's the good sugar. But if you have time to work that good sugar off, it's really basic. You're not ready when you eat when you eat two bananas at night or getting ready close to bed 1 to 2 hours before bed. You're not you're fueling your body for energy. So,
Okay.
do you want energy before you go to bed? You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. Right. Okay.
basically, that's it. But that was a very, very good question. I mean,
Okay.
comment.
Okay, so in that, because we need fruit, it's
Correct.
necessary that we eat fruit for the nutrients and the vitamins and stuff that our bodies need. So you're saying if to take the intake of fruit should be early in the daytime, so that all day long the body is being fueled by that fruit, by those nutritions, and we're working it off at the same time.
Correct. And the other thing about fruit is when you put fats, carbohydrates, and protein together,
Uh huh.
it's a complete meal for to help your system. So in other words, if you're going to have some fruit in the evening, it's
Okay.
best to have it with in a smoothie base
Okay.
that has some greens
Mm,
and some nuts that you're putting in that smoothie as well. So you're having the fat, you're having the sugar, the carbohydrates, fat, and the protein together.
got you.
So that's a better way to have that sugar. You
Wow.
understand? Because you're putting those micronutrients with it. So you're putting those micros with it in order to get a more complete nutrition.
Right, right. Wow. But you know what, Val, hearing all of this, and I hope all of you have been able to be engaged and hear what she's saying. And I'll confess, and Val and I've had the conversation, it's a lot. It's a
It
lot
is.
to the
It is.
point, and I think Diane made the comment, wow, that's a lot. It's absolutely a lot. And I think on the poster, the flyer that we made where it said cheese, CHEESE, the dairy cheese, the one that we're familiar with, then the CHEEZ, talking about the plant based cheese or no cheese. And when I consider all the things that you've said tonight, and to when going to the grocery store, doing the research, trying to figure out, was this one better because it has 1 gram less of fat than the other one, but it has 3 grams more of carbohydrates, and doing all of that for me, I would end up being, you know what, no thank you, I'm good.
Yeah,
Because
right.
it's so
Mhm.
much. And one of the things that can become very discouraging when you think, because just like when you said the butter, how you almost did the pukes when you saw the butter. You see, because when I would have paid almost $4 for this butter, I thought I really did something great. But you're saying, no, this is not good. Now, the chances are I won't even use this butter until I do Thanksgiving baking, because I don't really consume butters and stuff. I don't put Yes, I do. Sorry. I started to say I don't put butter in my grits, but I do. But anyway, and so when you go through all this and you look at this and say, well, let me see what it's got in it. Okay, da 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 da. Does it have dietary fiber? No, that one don't. Let me look at this one. Oh, well, this would do, but it's not meeting the daily requirement of the food pyramid. I don't have all those type energies. And
Mhm.
so now what's easy is from the garden to the table to the mouth. That's easy. Vegetables, so easy. Perry grows his tomatoes, his cucumbers, his celery. He does all that. And it's so simple. You get it, you clean it. You don't have to go through that extreme process, because it's not chemicals has not been put on it. But at the same time, you do the washing and stuff. But this really can be complicated. No, seriously, this can become complicated.
Yes.
Complicated. Do you all agree with that? I
Yes.
mean, I love cheese, but I'm wondering now, do I really love it? Because I'm like, this is too much.
Yes.
Until it get in my face at the table. Then there'll be a different story. Yeah. So, but Val, let's read some comments here. Um, Talking about the cheese, Polly says she too is a cheese lover. Oh, thank you, Razine. You're doing a good job, Angeline. Yes, Diane. Anything with more than 3 or 4 ingredients, and I've heard that so many times before. That when you get all this stuff in there, you might want to reconsider. And packaged foods are not good. I heard about the processing. I remember when we lived overseas for the third time, those 15 years, they would tell us, do not package. You have the deli, what has the really nice lunch meats. They say it's pretty, and as fancy as that seemed to be, this stuff is packed with sodium.
Mhm.
Sodium is what keeps it that you can eat it. It's still, the shelf life is still good in 3 weeks
Mhm.
because of the sodium. For those that suffer blood pressure problems, swellings, water retention, we don't need the sodium. Yeah. So, all of these things that's prepackaged, stuff that the shelf life is 2 and 3 weeks, is because it's been preserved. Nutritional yeast, the cashew cheese. Now, I think, is it Google that you can go and
Google.
get
Yes,
recipes? Okay,
absolutely. You can now nutritional yeast is purchased right off the shelf. It's
okay,
yes, you can purchase nutritional yeast. Now, let me just say this. I haven't had real cheese like the dairy cheese in a long time.
okay.
And just my disclaimer on that is it took me a while to discover these cheeses, and which mean that my palate had gotten
Mhm.
away from the taste of cheese,
Okay.
of dairy cheese. So don't you guys get mad at me when you try your cashew cheese or your nutritional yeast and it tastes bland or whatever it tastes to you, because I said it was amazing. But sometimes you have to kill those buds, those taste buds, that palate that
Yeah.
wants that dairy, so that your body, so you can train your taste buds, you can train your palate for anything you need to train it for any type of flavors and tastes.
Right.
So again, now I know of people that eat really real cheese that love cashew cheese. So that's one of the reasons, because I have guests sometimes and they eat cheese or whatever. And cashew cheese, when I don't tell them, they know it's going to be plant-based. They know it's
Okay.
going to be vegan.
Okay.
If I don't tell them, then they start smacking and yumming, yum, yum, yum. And they want to know, what's this? What is in it? What? Oh, so cashew cheese has always been a winner for me.
Okay.
When I have guests or when someone is introduced to it that does eat cheese. So yes, Google cashew cheese for a
Okay.
recipe, and it's very simple. It has very few ingredients, and just try it on a toast or something,
Right.
um,
Okay.
and see if you like it. So you can make a very small amount. And again, the nutritional yeast, I would try that with a salad,
Okay.
add cheese to a salad. Try it with simple things. I want to say this right quick. I just want to say this.
Okay.
When you say that this is a lie, that is very true. And you know
Right.
what? You know what we're guilty of, movers? We as a human race, we as a people, we are guilty
Mm-hmm.
of making what we eat so complicated.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
are we are so guilty of that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have friends that are vegans and they think I'm just they don't even want to call me a vegan. They're like, you're a hideous girl. Their
Mhm.
lifestyle, their eating habits are so simple. They basically eat the same thing every week, the same thing. They don't change, especially athletes, especially when
Okay.
they're an athlete.
Okay.
And they're healthy. They enjoy what they eat. They love it. And so we have really blown out and blown up everything we eat and what we have to eat to the point where it becomes so complicated.
Wow. That's true. That's true. That's true. I was thinking. Okay. Okay. I was thinking, Val, that when it comes to, possibly for myself, I'm like, wow, this is just ugh. And then there's a possibility that we ourselves as individuals, we're the ones that have to process the things. What are we going to do about this, or what are we going to do about that? And so
Mhm.
it's at that point we bring ourselves into a particular discipline. And to discipline yourself, take discipline. And so probably some of the falter is that it's too much to discipline myself. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And
yes.
so this may be what has caused this downward spiral to,
Mhm.
to end up in some places. But I want to say this, in terms of the cheese and all. At, at the end of the day, when we're losing weight or we're watching our numbers or whatever, and we see that we're not as far along as we should be or whatever, then it's at that point you just have to make a decision. What am I going to do with this?
Mhm.
What am I going to do with this? And
Yeah.
I'm speaking out of from experience. What? No, seriously, am I going to continue to go down this road leading to nowhere, or because I love this, or am I going to make it? I hear your buddy. He's barking.
Sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
buddy.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Amen. We love animals. God made them too. And so when I was thinking about all the walking that I do, I'm up to 6 miles a day, right? And then I'm like, okay, do I want to sabotage all that work because I just love cheese and I'm just going to eat it? You know what I'm saying? And so when you give it thought like that, it just kind of pulls you into this vein of saying, you know what, I can do something about this. Okay, let's go to some more comments here. Lois Becky Gibbs says, yes, absolutely yes. Processed foods are bad for us. This is Lois Boswell. And yes, they are. She's another health freak. I'm telling you, I met Lois some maybe 5 years ago at the church that we attended before Paris started pastoring. Awesome woman of God. Uh, Good information, Janice. Amen, Polly. Lois says organic and non-GMO vegetables keep you eliminating 3+ times a day. Wow.
Amen. That's right.
Non-GMO. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
She's not a vegan or vegetarian, but she's learned to eat well, and now her doctor says she's no longer diabetic. Woo!
Woo! Hey, that is
Wonderful. Wonderful.
awesome. Awesome. Beautiful.
Yes,
What a
yes.
testimony.
It is. It is. Christina says bad is so good, but so is living a long and healthy life.
Yes.
It's so much better.
Yeah.
Now, Diane has a question. What about coffee? Now, when you're talking about, is there any such thing as healthy coffees or vegan coffees, stuff like that?
Everything in moderation. I just came off coffee in
I
March.
remember.
I
Yeah.
came off coffee only because I mean it's nothing. I think coffee actually is great. It has antioxidants in it.
Okay.
Where coffee become bad is when we put all of this sugar and cream and stuff in it. Be moderate. Be moderate about your. I would say no sugar. It's
Right.
better. It's better by itself. Okay,
Right. Okay.
but it's also bad when you drink it all day. So
Right. Okay.
so it becomes a drug then. So yeah, it's good. Now I did go back to it. However, if I have a really, really long workout I have to do or strenuous day, workout and standing on my feet all day, I might have like a half a cup of coffee. But no, coffee is fine. Um, watch your sugar, watch your cream. Coffee is great.
Okay. The coffee itself is the additives
The additives,
stuff
yes,
we put in there. Right. Right.
absolutely.
Okay. Wow. Because honey, we know we go to Starbucks and give me half
Woo!
a can of your Cool Whip and a whole half
Yep.
can. And give me your almond milk, but I want the sweet kind. I don't want the unsweetened almond milk. I want the sweet kind. Make it a little bit sweeter today because I got a whole lot of work I got to do today. Then it's not even coffee. It's a dishonor.
Yes, Starbucks is great coffee, but the way they put that caffeine and sugar together, whew, that stuff is
Wow.
powerful. So yeah, so coffee is great.
Look, Felicia Bender goes, whew, I thought I was going to have to give up my coffee. What about vanilla almond milk in coffee? Now, for the coffee, Philly says coffee is a toxin. For the coffee, when I went and actually bought some stuff, I bought coconut. F- they made it really, really fine. I bought this coconut you put in coffee to just give it flavor, but it's no sugar, no fat, no none of that stuff according to it. And but it doesn't. I think a lot of times, and maybe this is something I need to say, Val need to say. Possibly, we need to know that our palate is not going to immediately transition or acclimate to the new that we're trying. So give it some time, I guess. I think
Right.
that's where I have a problem because I tried to drink it black.
Mhm.
I last exactly 2 days, and I was like, no, I won't even drink coffee before I drink it like this, you know. And so I didn't give myself a chance. And So just to encourage you, to let you know, no, it's not going to taste good at first because you have to acclimate to the taste. You have to, acquire. You have to acquire the taste for it or whatever. So hey, that's it right there.
And also, there are plant-based sugars. There are sugars from plants. For instance, stevia.
Okay.
Agave is actually, agave is really, it's kind of better than stevia because
Okay.
it has a low glycemic, it's low on the glycemic scale.
Okay.
So it's a slow burning sugar. So
Uh,
you may want to try that in your coffee. Someone stated that coffee is a toxin. Yes, coffee can be a toxin. Yes, absolutely.
okay.
Um, I just wanted to state that coffee can be a toxin. Some people don't believe in drinking coffee at all.
Right.
And like I said, coffee does have it because of the caffeine. It does have some
Uh-huh.
antioxidants in it, but and it is a stimulant. So, but it can be a toxin as well. And that goes really deep. It's some things about coffee that because like there's a reason why if you drink coffee and you get the jitters,
Yeah.
there's toxin in that coffee. So yes, it is,
Got you.
but
Got you.
that takes it to another level. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. This has been a good discussion. Um, I want to go back and then we're gonna close it out. I want to go back to the comment that Lois Boswell made about the organic. There may be some on here that has probably eliminating every day or 2 or 3 times a day. She said that the organic and the non-GMO vegetables keep you eliminating
Yes.
3+ times a day.
Yes. We're supposed to eliminate like babies. We supposed every time you eat, you're supposed to
Right.
be able to go to the bathroom right away.
Got you. Got you. So now, when you talk about the non-GMOs, the organic, now is that prepackaged or do you or is it in the produce department? Is the in the whole food section as you refer to it? Um,
Yes. Non-organic fruits and vegetables, it has pesticides and chemicals. Is a lot of times it's coated with a whole lot of
wow.
chemicals to help it grow faster. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
If anyone knows it, and the lady that made the comment about that, she probably can attest to the fact that it tastes better. Organic tastes so much more like real food than non-organic. Try it in a banana. Something simple as a banana. If you like bananas, try non-organic and try next to it, try organic. And just taste the difference in the sweetness
Oh,
of that
it's
banana.
a different taste.
So yes, it does have it fruit, I mean veggies, let me just say this, vegetables alone, with whether
Okay.
they're non-organic, whether they're conventional or organic, will help you to eliminate better. But
Okay.
organic keeps out all of the chemicals.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Right, right. So there's two more. Christina said these are facts. Absolutely. Uh, what about canned organic fruits?
Canned organic, you just be careful about whether it's in its own fruit. I mean, in its own juice.
Uh huh.
Be careful about that because sometimes they add sugar to make it to keep it sweet. I eat a lot of organic canned beans,
Okay.
but I rinse the beans off. I rinse it out at whatever juices or whatever it's in. I
Mm-hmm.
rinse it off to get all of that stuff off of it.
Okay.
The sodium.
Uh huh.
So organic is one, like I buy them organic, but I also rinse them so that whatever is on it so it shouldn't be any chemicals because it's organic. But
Right.
sometimes the can that it's in carries chemicals.
Right. Right. Okay.
BFA, if you ever heard of BFA. So
Right.
so I rinse it, so yes, canned
Okay.
and some packaged foods are organic. So that is going to be the better way to go. So I'm glad she mentioned the organic and non-GMO. So non-GMO, if it's organic, it's usually non-GMO.
Okay. Got you. Got you. Okay. One last comment. Diane says, so Val, If I want to eat something that's high in carbs, if I exercise, will it harm me or it or it won't harm me, huh? Now, does that depend on what carb it is? If it's a good
Diane, Diane, why are you doing this to me, girl?
carb.
Okay, Diane. Okay, yes. If it depends on the carbs, remember, white carbs, white sugars, white flours, white breads, the white stuff is not good, whether you move or not. But
Okay.
if you do brown and darker carbs, like stuff with color,
Uh-huh.
color carbs, okay?
Okay.
And fruit, natural fruits and things of that nature. Yes, eat all of that you want and move. Yes.
Okay.
But carbohydrates are, yes, eat carbohydrates. Eat your rice. Eat your rice. Eat your high carbohydrate foods, which
But
is
not the
white.
white rice, the brown rice.
You can have white. I love white what is it? Oh, I just lost my train of thought. So some white rice, yes.
Okay.
Um some white rice, yes. Brown rice is better. Even black rice, like dirty rice. So yes, eat your rice, Diane. Eat your high carb foods. Eat your high carb foods. You can
Wow.
have even white rice. If you have white rice, sure, eat it, but just make sure that it's during like for breakfast or lunch, so that you can move that stuff off during the day. And make it organic. Make it organic. Make it non-GMO. Do everything with those carbohydrates that you can to keep it on the healthy carbohydrate side, because carbohydrates are good for you.
Okay. Now, Diane, I'm gonna tell you this. You go ahead and eat that white rice with V because V gonna be out there running 15 miles every morning, and you gonna be texting your doctor saying something
Woo!
ain't right over here in my body. Die, lady, die. You better leave that white rice
Oh my
be.
goodness.
Oh my
Diane, and
goodness.
use Google, Diane. Make sure you use Google. What are good carbohydrates? What are good carbohydrates?
Wow. Now Becky says frozen is better than canned, and that is so
Correct.
true. Yes,
Correct.
yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. What
Good
about
stuff,
canned
guys.
food? She
Good
did say
stuff.
that. This has been good. This has been awesome. Val, thank you so much because most of us on here are movers, and for me, I try to make sure that I don't sabotage my daily walk because 6 miles is a long way to walk. To come home and eat something that just kind of kills all of that, if there's any such thing. So I really try to pay attention to a lot of things and every once in a while, these little demons that whisper in your ears, girl, you walk 6 miles every day. Go over there and get you a piece of pie. You're going to work it off. I say, go on, devil. That's an old trick.
In
That's an
your
old trick. Huh?
in your transitioning, keep in mind that if your body is craving for it, it's probably not good for you in your
Right,
transitioning.
right. Now, what I do, and you are exactly right. And what I do, say, I went to the pool one day, and the pool that I go to is for retired people, right? So they get in there and talk about, oh, I sure would love to have me a peach cobbler, or I pulled out my canned peaches, and when I get to the house, and I mind you, you done fought demons all the way to the pool. You done fought them demons all the way to the pool, binding and cutting and rebuking and telling the devil get off, and you go to the pool and they talk about they're gonna do a peach cobbler when they get to the house. And here you go again. I said, the Lord, this demon ain't gonna kill me, drown me in this water fighting. And so it's like, what in the world? And so what I do when I get that craving where I feel like I gotta have something, what I did the last time I felt that, I went and bought fresh peaches and I froze them. Cut them up in pieces. I froze them, and the next morning I put it in my smoothie, and it kind of it satisfied that desire for peaches that got stirred up by somebody else in the water in the pool. You know what I'm saying? And so I try to find little ways to help out. Today in church, I didn't eat before I went to church, and so I just got so hungry. So after church, I asked Sister McDuffie, I said, do you by chance have a snack or something in your car? So she went and got something, and it had like 6 little crackers with peanut butter. And I said, okay, Angeline, what are we going to do with this? I took 2 of the crackers. I just needed something to keep from passing all the way out. And so I took 2 crackers, and that took care of it until I was able to get home. And
Good
so I'm
girl.
saying all that to say this, when the consciousness of your well being, when the consciousness of what you're doing is
Yes.
right there, you're able to give it thought, but when you're not conscious, you're just grabbing that stuff, eating it, and then think about it after you eat it type
Hmm.
thing. And so I want to share that with some of you on that may be struggling in different areas. Yes, got to do that with peaches. Yes, yes. For those little areas that we struggle in, there's alternatives. There's many ways we can get this done without falling, without becoming totally derailed or losing all the wheels off our wagon.
Right.
And so I
Right.
want to encourage Val. I just want to say thank you to you. Thank you once again for coming. You are so wonderful, so
The pleasure is
awesome.
mine. Pleasure is mine.
Yes, yes, for coming to be with us again.
Thank
And
you all
thank
for
all of
having me.
you for joining us here and in engaging in conversation concerning the cheese or no cheese. And so it is my desire to become no thank you, no cheese for me. That is my desire. No thank you, no cheese for me. And so, but in the meantime, I'll continue to do what I need to do, even if it means, because typically what will happen if I try to eat this and don't like it, I'll end up just kind of moving away from it altogether. And so that may be a plus for me. Hey, ladies and gents, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on, being with us. And I want to say to you, movers, keep on moving. You remember in church they used to sing a song, "Put your time in, payday's coming out in a while." But what we're saying, and every day is payday because we're seeing the changes that are taking place. We may not see every ounce that we lose or the inches that we lose every day, but we wake up one morning and be like, oh my goodness, I got these pants on, I got the blouse on, it's not tight anymore, I got the dress on, or my leg is not hurting. That pain that was in my leg for 4 years is not there anymore, and all of these things. For those that's just now starting the walking regime, at first it was like, oh my God, I cannot walk 3 miles. And just keep pushing and pushing. And you wake up, you come one morning like, oh my God, it's not a struggle anymore. So you watch it bit by bit, the improvement in every area, in clarity of thinking, self esteem, feeling wonderful about yourself, and just engaging in social living and these type things, all because we're doing better. We're feeling better. Our minds are clear. Our thoughts are clear, and we are becoming better. We are absolutely becoming better. The Lord bless you and keep you. Thank you again for being with us here at Sip and Chat. Don't forget, set your clock, set your alarm for 6:55 every Sunday evening that you can join us, that you don't miss it. You can join us. I want to say Diane has a show. I call it a show, but she has what I call a quick nitbit. 11:45 every Tuesday morning, and it's always awesome gospel God-like nuggets that she puts out every Tuesday at 11:45. So go on Facebook. She's Facebook Live. I want to thank Val. Vegan Val she's not only a trainer, but Val is a natural hairstylist. Braids. We call it a scalp doctor. If anything go wrong in your scalp, if you can find you a plane ticket and get down here and go to her shop, your scalp will be healed by the time you leave there. She's awesome with the hair. Oh my gosh, she's awesome with the hair. She's awesome in training and the things that she do. Val, before you go, before Perry prays with us, is there anything else you would like to say to us?
Keep moving, people. Keep moving, movers, and you're doing an amazing job. Just to be here to listen, let your heart know and your mind know that you are determined.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Val. Thank you. All right. We dare not close until Perry. Let me see. Lois says, on the run, drink a small glass of flax milk. Okay. Wow. Okay. Flax milk. We'll look into that, Lois. All right. Perry, are you able to come up and pray with us, or do we need to do it ourselves? He's in the
Praise the Lord.
There
I'm right
he
here.
is.
Uh, I think you, Vegan Val, for sharing with us again. And I think a whole lot of people more clear on, uh, especially on the cheese part.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a good thing to know if it's over how many you said two
Or
ingredient four
Four to five.
over
Four to
four.
five.
Put it back on the shelf. So it's just great to have you on the show with us. And so
Mhm.
many people saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, Vegan Val. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So uh, we want to thank you too. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you now.
Yes,
We
Lord.
pray
Thank you, Father.
as we come here together. As I was praying before that, the health of those that's on this
Yes.
show today, let it increase as they decrease in the things that's hurting the temple.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Let their health increase,
Mm-hmm.
increase, stronger, more powerful, strength,
Mm-hmm.
limbs stronger and moving smoother
Mm-hmm.
as they desire to do and build the temple
Mm-hmm.
that the Lord have blessed them with. I pray now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings. Love you all. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you this time next week. We'll see you on the Movers platform. Love you. All right. Take care. Take
Bye-bye.
it in there. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.